Hi, today I'm going to talk about 10 most important interview questions that are always there in almost every interview that you're going to face in your life. So, पहली बात तो ये आते ही हैं तो पहले से ही प्रिपेयर कर लो क्यों लास्ट मिनट का वेट करना है. Now, first talking about the general stuff that you have to take care of before you present yourself in an interview. First thing is researching about the company. Do your research properly. I used to always do that. By doing your research, I mean you need to do a good research about the company that you're going to be interviewing for. You have to find out a little about the role you're interested in, okay? What are the duties? What are the responsibilities that are attached to the role that you are interviewing for, okay? That will help you in answering to the questions more properly, all right? Now, why would you need to do the research? It's because it's going to show the interviewer that you're genuinely interested in the role. You're genuinely interested in working for the company. You genuinely have an interest. You have a liking for the company. Everybody wants to be liked. Don't you want to be liked by others around you? So the feeling is common. It's a mutual feeling that almost everybody has. So it's better that you prepare yourself. You have an answer when people ask you something about the company. You're not blank. भूल गया. ओहो, मैम कल ही तो पढ़ा था, अभी याद नहीं आ रहा. नहीं, you cannot say that. Okay. It will just show a lack of responsibility on your part if you do not know anything about the company that you're interviewing for. Second, you have to be very careful about how you're presenting yourself, okay? You have to wear good clothes. No, you're not supposed to be wearing something like this. I'm just being modest. No, there's nothing wrong in this. No, but I really mean that you have to be professionally dressed up because that is the first time somebody is looking at you, okay? They do not know anything about you when you walk into the room. They probably have a resume in their hand already, but understand, if there are 200 people interviewing for the same position, they have those 200 resumes. They cannot obviously place a lot of importance to what is written in the resume in there. They're more interested in you as a person. What kind of a person are you? How confident you are, how good you are with your decision making, and wearing good clothes and choosing the right kind of clothes to your interview shows good decision making on your part. Yeah, to some extent. So by good clothing, I mean be professional, needless to say. Be possibly pastels, something light, okay? Blacks are like always welcome. If you could wear a black, good for you, okay? But preferably something light, subtle, not too shiny, not too bright, and of course ironed, properly ironed. No wrinkles on your suit, no wrinkles on your dupatta you're wearing. Avoid wearing bright reds and bright pinks and bright chatak yellows, okay? Avoid wearing that. Be a little more subtle. Be a little more simple. Do not hesitate to sell yourself. Yes, if they expect you to highlight your good qualities, there's no need to be modest there. Highlight your qualifications. Highlight what's better about you that may probably not be there in the rest of the candidates. Anything that makes you stand out. Do not hesitate to sell yourself because this is just a small span of time where you have to make an impression, and this is not the time for you to be extremely modest, okay? It's all right to talk praises about yourself. It's all right to talk accomplishments. It's all right to tell them how you are the best fit for the job. Now we're going to move on to the questions, the list of questions that I have for you, and how the things that you have to remember while answering to those questions, okay? The things that are going to make sure that you come out victorious, okay? Let's move on to the question number 1. First one is the most common one. Tell me something about yourself. When somebody asks you that, remember there's a human asking you that. We still do not have robots asking us that, okay? So remember to keep it entertaining. Remember to tell the other person that you are You are a lively person. You fill the room with light. You have that exuberance in you. Answer with excitement, okay? Tell me something about yourself is your moment to hold the attention of the other person or for the next 1 or 2 minutes completely in your hand, okay? Do not be boring. Being boring is it's a straight no. You can't do that to yourself, okay? This is like stabbing yourself in the heart. Don't be boring. Be entertaining. Smile. Be excited when you answer to this question, okay? Of course, do not come out mad. We don't have to appear stupid and silly. Okay, you're getting my point, right? Don't be like this. You don't have to be this, okay? You have to be nice. You have to be genuine, but you have to show them that you like yourself, okay? Tell something that is not written in your resume, something that is, and bring their notice to that point. Tell them that it's not there in my resume. I'm telling you this about myself. Tell them something about your recent accomplishment, something that you've achieved in your previous company or somewhere you're already employed, something that nice you've done for your family, something nice that people appreciate you for. Okay, you get the idea, right? Moving to the next one. Now, before I continue, I want to tell you about Skill Link. Skill Link trains you to become job ready after you have completed your engineering course, which means you get trained in skills which companies actually want in you. So how that happens is, first, you enroll in one of the 8 to 12 month PG programs. Second, learn from the study material and videos they provide. And third, then finish the assignments and projects. And then Skill Link's team helps you in finding a job. They help you get placed. They have helped thousands of people like you get hired by more than 250 companies. Doesn't matter what your domain is. It could be mechanical or computers or civil or anything. Skill Link is for you. I'm sharing the link in the description. Go check it out. Coming back. Next one is, why should we hire you? Why are you the best person for a job? So here you could start talking about your qualifications and how they align with the role. And of course, you have to tell about your recent achievements, accomplishments in your previous role where you had been working, okay? Or where you have been working even now. Do talk about those achievements, those accomplishments, and how they could support the role you're looking a job in, okay? And also, again, I remind you, you have to sound motivated to receive the job. So you have to tell them how much you like the job or like the role that you're interviewing for. Tell them about how you've added value in your previous roles and how that experience could be fruitful or productive to the role for which you're interviewing for, okay? So make that count. And of course, you have to sound motivated to receive this role. Tell them that you're excited about this opportunity. Now, the next one is again something that is always going to be asked to you, and that is, where do you see yourself in X years? Certainly not one of my favorite questions, but it is mostly always asked. So prepare yourself well on this one. When they ask you where you see yourself in the X number of years, what they essentially want to know is what your career goals are, okay? Where you are heading to in your life. What do you aspire for? So talk about your career goals, okay? It's all right to be honest. It's all right to dream big and express. I mean, at least that is something that has worked for me in my interviews. But I admit it also has a lot to how you communicate your ideas. I probably brought them out in a positive way. If you're not too sure, practice before you answer to this question, because making big khulasas about yourself may not always work in your favor. So be a little careful, because what they truly want to know is if your goals align with company's goals. If you would want to be here, let's say if you're interviewing for an IT job and you say, my career goal is to be a pilot in the next 10 years. No. The next question would be, what the hell are you doing here? Why are you sitting in this interview? So getting my point, right? Your goals have to be in alignment with company's goals. They should see that you're going to stick to the company. You're not going to leave the company as soon as you get your first opportunity out. Okay, so tell them the goals that are aligning with the company. I'd say try and bring out something nice, new, because that poor woman or poor man has been listening to these answers for, I don't know, maybe some 2 years now, 5 years now. So let's just try and make it different for his or her experience, something that they can like about you. Okay, if I were to answer where you see yourself in X years, I'd probably say that I see myself as heading the department for which I'm interviewing right now, or I see myself as the VP of the company. Too diplomatic? But you're free, of course, as I said in the beginning of the video, you are absolutely free to bring about new ideas, something that you can portray or admit to confidently without offending the person sitting across from you. Okay, moving to the next question. What are your biggest strengths? Common question is going to be asked to you. First of all, you have to talk about your skills. Be very specific. Which skill set? Let's say I am a self-motivated person. It's my skill. I do not need motivation from outside. So you have to back your statement with evidence. Okay, talk about experiences, the skills that you're talking about, and some experiences of the past. Okay, and back your talks with evidence. By evidence, I do not mean you have to have something in documents. No, of course, nobody has documents for such things, right? You don't have documents for the experiences you've had in life, but you could tell some little stories, the real ones. I'm not asking you to be a liar. The real stories that have happened in the past that have proved your skills. Like, for example, if I have to say that my skill is, or my strength is, that I am a great team player, how would I back myself up on this? I could give an example that last time, this is just a hypothetical one, there was a hacking attempt on the website of the company and everybody was going paranoid and there was a lot of chaos and commotion in the company, and we were made to resolve this. We were asked to resolve it, and I worked for 48 hours straight with my team, and we did not get a chance to go home, and we were working on resolving the issue, and we were deeply appreciated for it later. So something like that, some example like that, that could convince them that you're not lying and you really did what you're saying. Okay, moving to the next one. What are your biggest weaknesses? Now, of course, first you have to be honest. Everybody knows their weaknesses. Okay, so you have to be honest with what is lacking in you. Okay, and another thing is that it should not be essential to the job. Okay, something that you do not have should not be something that is totally needed for this job or this role, because otherwise who's going to help you? Okay, so the weakness in you should not be something that is essential to the job, because if one of those things are actually needed for the job, it's better you keep it to yourself and do not disclose. Okay, you need the job, right? Okay, another thing that you have to remember to mention is how you have worked to improve this shortcoming in you, how you have worked on this weakness in yourself. Okay, also another thing is that you have to tell that how you compensate for this weakness. All right, so this is something that I do not have, but this is something that I have a lot, and that's how I compensate for this shortcoming of mine. So first, how you have worked on improving that problem of yours. Another, how you have compensated. Like, this is not there, but this is too much there. Moving to the next one. Why do you want this job? Why do you want to work with us? First of all, research the company, as I said right in the beginning of the video. Okay. Second is, you must know what company's mission, their values, their work culture is like, and tell them that you like it, or how your goals align with the mission and values and vision of the company. Okay, that's the right way of answering to this question. Another thing is that you must talk about your genuine interest in where the company is heading to, and maybe some unique aspect of the company, something unique about the company. If you could highlight one of those things, will be great for your answer. Okay, so yeah, moving to the next one. How do you deal with pressure or stressful situations? Now you have to talk about your own experiences of how you have handled stress and how you have handled pressure in the past. You must talk about your methods of staying calm, how you deal with situations where your focus is needed but there's too much chaos. How do you handle those things? Because such things, mostly all of us have faced such things, and we all have our own unique ways of handling situations like these, right? Some of us meditate, some of us just take deep breaths, and some of us we call somebody up, some of us pray, some of us maybe drink 2 glasses of water, liter of water, or some of us listen to music. So you may have your own unique way of handling things like these, right? So talk about that. Tell about how you prioritize your things, because handling pressure has a lot to do with priorities. It really does, okay? In case you are not aware of it, maybe another time for that. But yes, if you prioritize your things properly, if you know what has to be done after what, and you know your priority numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the order in which I have to accomplish these 4 things in my day to day, there's a good chance that there will not be a situation of pressure or stress to build on your head. Okay, so tell them about how you prioritize your things, or how good you are, or how effective you are at prioritizing your stuff, your workload. Okay, they're gonna love your answer if you present it that way. How well do you work in a team? Tell me about a time when you had to lead a team. For this question, you have to give specific examples. A real example where you had actually led a team. What your leadership style is like. How you motivate your team. Okay? What is your own style? Come up with your own answer here, because you of course have a style of your own, right? We are all unique in our own selves. So you have a leadership style. Just talk about it. Maybe if I were to talk about myself, I would say maybe I do not let pressure build on my team. I try and keep it to myself. I may discuss with probably just one person, okay, but not distribute all my stress over all of my people out there, because I do not want them to worry. I want them to work with creativity. Another thing that I could say would be I make sure I create an environment for my team where they feel I am approachable. They could talk about anything and everything with me. I'm like a friend to them, of course, with certain rules so that they respect me. There is a needed amount of distance that we maintain. And at the same time, I make sure that I am a good mentor, a good friend they could rely on. Something like this. You know, you're pretty good at it. I already know that. Moving to the next one. You could also, before I move on to the next one, you could also talk about a specific case where you motivated your team and you could accomplish something big, okay? Under your leadership, the team accomplished something big, a big, good goal, target. If you have certain examples, just throw it out, okay? Now, next one. What are your salary expectations? Now, you must always have a proper answer to this one. You could not say, ma'am, I don't know. Ma'am, whatever you are comfortable with. No, learn to value yourself, okay? Don't say something like this. First of all, research, okay? Find out how much typically is paid to a job like this with the n number of experience, n number of years of experience that you hold, okay? What is actually a good range to ask from? So just mention a figure that lies in that range, okay? Another thing is that it will be good if you could express that this is a flexible figure. Why? Do you have a choice? I don't think you do, really. So you have to express your willingness to negotiate and your flexibility with the amount that you've quoted, okay? But also, this is something that I did. I'm just telling you that when the person who had to hire me, when he wanted to negotiate on the price with me, the thing that I said to him that actually made him to not negotiate with me was that, ma'am, sir, he was a sir, this is the figure I feel I will be motivated if I work on. If you reduce this figure for a bare 30,000-40,000 rupees in my package, I am scared I might suffer with my motivation. So in order to keep my spirits high and to feel welcomed in the job and motivated in the job, I would really appreciate if you do not negotiate with me on this. But I said all of these things when I was sure I was getting the job. So this was me getting a call from my HR after a few days of interview. Okay, this was not in the interview. I had already cracked my interview. I received a call from them, and that is when I told them that I don't want to negotiate because it will affect my motivation levels. And they agreed, and I got the job and I got the package I wanted. So that's how it happened. Okay, moving to the next one. Do you have any questions for us? Now, this is something that you could totally prepare for well in advance. Have a small list of questions. Don't ask silly questions. It is very important to ask questions, but to ask the right ones. Don't ask wrong questions. Okay. Now you may say, ma'am, right or wrong क्या होता है? Question to question होता है. Don't ask something silly. Okay. When they say you have a question for us, like I could give you an example. Ma'am, I read in the newspaper that the company shifted their plant from Baddi to Almora. I just wanted to know what the reason could be. Could you please give me something here? Something like this, okay? And that will probably just reflect on your interest in the company. It would reflect on your interest in the job, and or that you've really done your homework before coming for the interview. So something like that, okay? An intelligent question. Something that could show that, as I said, you've done your work before interviewing. So that's all in the video today. God, I've spoken so much today. Thank you very much. I really hope you enjoyed the video and you learned something new. Throw in some interesting questions my way in the comments. I'm going to read your comments and probably find matter for my next video from your comments. So do ask some questions down there, okay? If you like the video, you know what you have to do. Okay, also, to stick longer with me, subscribe to the channel. Consider subscribing. I hope I prove worth to your time. That's it. Thank you very much. Also, there's a link in the description of the video. You can go and check it out. Thank you. Bye.